Hello and welcome to the first Qbrix interview with no one else than Spanish producer Physical Projects. We had 10 questions for David, and here you can see what he told us. Enjoy.
Hello, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to me to be able to do this interview with you, and thank you so much everyone that's gonna watch it. Well, Physical Project is a Spanish producer from Granada and that has been making music since 2013. This project started back to maybe I would say 2010, when my mother forced me to participate in a contest, in a DJ contest. Well, I didn't know anything about music, about DJing, and if you ask me about what it was a producer in that time, I would say I don't know. So days later, I started to listening DJs on YouTube, and I found DJ Tiesto, and since that moment I started to listen in trance, and it was that thing I need in my life, and it helped me a lot, and that's why I then years later decided to make my own music. I know that a lot of people used to ask me about my name, and I know that it's well grown spelled, but I decided to use that name because there were a lot of people call it Physical with PH, so that's why I try to be more original and decide to use that name. And the name comes when I was in the high school listening to trance, and at that moment I studied science, so you can imagine that when I was in class of physics and chemistry, I decided to use this name. So that's my history, and that's where Physical Project born. I think I've always been myself, and I consider that I am a person who can speak with anyone and who can help when you deserve it. So I will say that if we compare myself when I'm in the private life, or when I'm making music or doing anything on the social media, I will say that I still the same person, and I always try to share everything I do on my social media, mostly on Twitter, but really I will say that I don't see at the moment any difference between both sides of me. Well, COVID was something that we didn't expect it before, something very difficult for all of us, and I'm so sorry for all the people who left us. I just hope that soon we will get the normality again. Of course, for everyone who is fans of music, still missing that music, that feel to go live to a club or wherever, a party or festival. Of course, it's affected to almost all the DJs and producers around the world. In my case, I will say I had a very bad times, and still working hard to survive, I would say. But if we talk about making music, I will say that it gave me. I was thinking about making a new project, and it helped me to make able to do that. And at the moment, I already presented it, and it's the version 2.0 of myself. That's why I changed my logotype, and I try to create new quality music, I will say, because I feel very bad because the music that I had before, it was like it's nice. I get nice support and I see the people liking it, but I don't really feel it almost each tune. So I decided to work more, and in the last months I was learning more, watching for example videos from Alan Morrow that I really recommended because they are helping me a lot to get all the point of view about how to make music. And for example, I got the masterclass of Giuseppe Ottaviani, and also helped me to motivate first of all, and then to keep improving my skill. So I will say these times get me. I will say that I was making a lot of reflections about how and what I can do after this ending. So it was nice and not.
So another thing that I wanted to show you is how I work my projects. As you can see here, I usually make like different kind of group. For example, the kit group, the bass, the driven bass, some vocals, some loops, also part of course, some orchestral part, leads, more voices, effects, and this is the work I always do to make a track. I try to find what I need, and then I make the full idea. In this case, I'm going to show you also the mixer. It's not very tidy, I would say, but it gives you an idea of how I used to work. You can see here that I use missing key. It helped me to know the different tones. It's a very nice one if you want to try. And I will say I firstly work the main melody, as you can see here, and after I put that melody I started to create everything about that. So I choose the kit and then the percussion, the kind of bass line, and after all try to mix down everything when the idea is nice. So I'm going to show you now, and I hope you enjoy the project and the idea, of course. And this is almost of the project. I hope you enjoy it. Um, this is the way I always work. So make simple things. Enjoy what you do.
Well, you know now how I make my own music, and I think you don't need anything else to create a nice track. I know a lot of nice producers that they just need headphones and a laptop to make sure they create a very nice track. So this is almost what I need, what I always use for create my own music. And I will talk about my new project. I have been working, I think, since October, I guess, and I was thinking how to run out, how to try to make more professional everything I do. I'm not talking just about music, I'm talking about in general, and I was all, of course, thinking about which things I can do by myself and which other I need help. I will say it was like so many reflections about when I want to go and what I need to go there. So first things I was thinking was to learn more about music, because in this industry, if you don't listen every new track from, I would say, any kind of style, you lose that innovation in songs. You lose that way. So you always have to be learning, listening everything, and this is the key to help you then to create new music. So I decided to learn, and as I said before, I started to watch a lot of new videos from Alan Morrow, videos from also Daniel Candy on Twitch, and of course the masterclass of Giuseppe Taviani. So it gives me a nice idea of how they work, and just to make sure you can then also improve your skill learning from them. So it's helped me a lot. Another thing that I started to do was starting to think about change my logo, because it was very old, and I think I was studying tourism, so change your brand sometimes is helpful. So I decided to change that because it's gonna give me like a new version of myself, and it was like the point to start a new career, I would say. So that was very important also to me, and starting to create more quality music above quantity, because I used to release a lot of stuff. But I started to feel, I will say I started to not feel them and get boring. So that's why I decided to release just a few tracks per year, and that this track I will release, I really enjoy them, and I will really want to play them if I have the opportunity to go to any club. So that was my main point. And another thing, try to work more on the social media. I think that is something that I always make better than music, because I think I was, of course, studying that, and I started to create, I will say, my own community on Twitter. I will say that I was and I am very grateful, because there are a lot of people always trying to talk with me, and it's something very beautiful, I would say, and very important if you want to grow up. So that was my new project. Of course, I can't forget the help I need outside. I would say that, for example, my masterings wasn't good enough, so I started to send them to Mark Cherry, and he always did a very nice job. Or, for example, I'm not very good with I would say creating banners or images that help you to promote anything. So I had my friends from the label, from Galaxia Music, helping me to create them. So there are a lot of things that I have been working hard on to make this more professional, and I would say I'm doing nice, I would say. Okay, if I have to talk about what's the bigger things I make in my career, I will say maybe release on Black Hole Recordings for the first time with my friend Eugenio Tocaret. I think it was in 2018. It was my dream. I was very big fan of Tiesto, and for me it was everything to release them. I will say, of course, when I released on Bandit Record, the record label for Paul Van Dyke, and also the guest meet I did to him, because he was another of my grandfathers, I would say. He always were supporting my music, and still, and it was everything for me. I never expected that I will be on in the legendary record label Black Hole Recordings, or even getting a lot of support from Paul Van Dyke. Years later, because of my past, because the people at the high school used to laugh to me, saying me Armin, I had the dream to be played from him on State of Trance, and I got that, so it was a nice thing to me, at least. And I always wanted to be releasing music on Armada. It's like, I think it's one of the most it's one of the objectives that we have, all the producers, to be there, because it's like the major label. But for now, I will say I'm more focused on creating my music, on create a different kind of trance. Of course, focusing on the classic trance, that is the one I really like. But I'm just trying to create something to give me that feeling that I used to have when I listen to trance. Because nowadays I really like a lot of strat, but I mostly lose that feeling that we used to have. I don't know if you can get what I'm talking about. There are a lot of nice music, but I lose that feeling that gives me to me. So I'm trying to at least make music that make me feel like that. So that made me feel even cry, because I feel this kind of music very, very emotional, and that feeling is what I lose, and I want to recover, I would say. I had the opportunity to collaborate with a lot of nice talents. I really enjoy to work with them. I will say that there are some very nice tracks that I do with them, and it was a pleasure to me to work with people as Eugenio Trocarer, Ryan K, Risto, I will say Fran Watson, Fran Duffel, Raoul Matt. Is something that I really like, and I used to do maybe too much collaboration. For now, with the new project, I will still want to collaborate with other people, but it will be not too much track that I used to. But if you ask me with who I would like to collaborate, I would say with photography, because he's a very nice guy. I really like the music over the years that he were releasing. And of course I will say with Raoul Matt, because I really enjoyed went to his studio and started to to create anything we felt, because we were like a child in his house, and I really enjoyed that moment, and it is because the COVID. But I will say I'm always open to collaborate with anyone, and if he is a very nice talent, I will be always open. Why not? Well, I'm always trying to listen in new music, other artists, and trying to get that different sound that they use in the track. Because if you keep working on the same, or you will get boring, that it was my case, or you will start to sound every time the same. So sometimes what I do is just to go to Spotify and try to find other kind of music. Mostly electronic dance music, but in other time I try to find indie music maybe, or even pop. I really like to try to listen to the music and try to see the trends, because it's helped me to maybe to improve more my sound, to add new songs, and wherever is, I think it's a good idea. Where find me is very simple. I'm always in social media, mostly on Twitter. I'm always posting and updating my daily, so it's very easy to find me and to find my music that I always posting on the social media. And if you want to find them on the different platform, you can just find it searching Physical project, and you will be updated. Well, as I was talking before about my new project, I think that the first of all is that we all need some objective. We had to make sure we try unless to make them come true. So I think this is the first step. The followings I will say is that you have a nice motivation to make sure that you can get that point that you want to stay. And the last one I will say is that you have to analyze everything, what you can do to get that point. In my case was making better music and keep working on the social media, trying to have more content frequently, because sometimes you have a release per month, and or maybe you have one in 2 months you don't have anything to share. If you don't have nothing, the people will be not interested in what you are doing, and that's why I feel that you need to stay making content every time. So that's why I decided to create my own playlist, making a lot of photos, and also, and the most important I will say, keep in contact with the people. I think this is the most important thing if you want to grow. And then of course meet new people, meet all the DJs, producer, managers. This is the way I found to grow up. And I think that's all for today. I'm very grateful for the opportunity of this interview. It was very interesting to talk about everything I did, and I hope you enjoy it. Sorry for my English. I hope you could understand me. It was a pleasure again. I will let you hear in the description the link about my different social media. And once again, thank you so much for the interview. Bye bye.